Hello and welcome to another inspiring edition of Diaspora Network, where we celebrate Nigerians making remarkable strides around the world. I'm Teniola Oyetayo. On today's program, we focus on harnessing the power of collaboration and community, highlighting individuals who are building supportive networks to empower others in the diaspora. And our guest this week is Yejide Adak, data governance consultant and the founder of Bloom L, a thriving community that supports women from minority ethnic backgrounds in the UK. But first, let's get up to speed on the latest news from the diaspora.
Nigerian-born track star Tobi Amusan has secured a new world record, becoming the world's fastest woman in the women's 100-metre hurdles during the Jamaica Athletics Invitational. The 12.40 victory surpasses the previous world record, which was held by America's Tonya Marshall, who clocked in at 12.42 seconds in late April. The 27-year-old is a two-time Commonwealth Games winner, and she became the first ever Nigerian world champion and world record holder in an athletics event when she won the 100-metre hurdles at the 2022 World Championships. This record has sparked hopes that the nation might secure a big win at this year's Olympic Games in France. Following the news, Nigeria's Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Owan Eno, posted his congratulations on social media platform X, stating, "Paris is around the corner," with the hashtag Renewed Hope.
What's up, class of 2024?
Another Nigerian woman dominating the headlines is Oluwami Dosunu Ogunjobi, who has become the first black woman to bag a PhD in robotics at the State of Michigan University. Oluwami, also known as Wami, is a daughter of immigrant parents. Next to roboticist, she holds many titles including engineer, mentor and teacher. She has been offered several awards and fellowships over the years. Most recently, she won the 2024 Martin Luther King Spirit Award and was given an invitation to speak at the Microsoft Future Leaders in Robotics and AI event at the University of Maryland. Wami, who is currently serving as a researcher in the robotics department at the university, has stated that through her postdoctoral work, she is eager to make the field of robotics more accessible to a wider audience, and that her long-term goal is to become a professor. The New York African Film Festival has announced Nigerian-produced documentary Brain Drain as the official closing film for its 2024 edition, under this year's theme, Convergence of Time.
So being first generation, one thing that our parents always instilled into us was to never forget where you come from, and just a pride about being Igbo, being Nigerian.
The film is produced by Collins Akpapunam, the CEO of Effici Worldwide, a production house based in Lagos. It has been described as an exposé which focuses on the socio-economic implications of the exodus of skilled workers in Nigeria, as well as success stories of Nigerians who are living in the United States. Founded in 1993, the New York African Film Festival has been at the forefront of celebrating the unique storytelling of filmmakers in Africa and the African diaspora. This year's instalment will be running from May to June. In celebration of International Nurses Day, the UK's NHS has recognised 24-year-old Damilola Osho for uplifting sick patients by playing the saxophone at several health centres in Essex. Damilola, who revealed that his mother is a singer, started playing the sax in 2016. He has previously performed to crowds of thousands of people at church events and student concerts in Nigeria, but now he plays songs such as Three Little Birds by Bob Marley and The Wailers in dedicated music sessions on his ward. The nurse says that he is encouraged to play despite how busy he is, because patients have voiced how wonderful the music makes them feel. Some patients have even written poems and thank you cards to express their appreciation. Juliana Olayinka with the Diaspora Network News Wrap in London.
In our special report today, we explore the impact of collaboration and community building, showcasing how Nigerians in the diaspora are creating supportive networks to empower others. Let's take a closer look at some of these inspiring initiatives.
In the last decade, the emergence of Africans, mostly Nigerians in the diaspora, has risen exponentially, making the continent a force to be reckoned with. Although migrating from one country to another is usually motivated by different reasons, a common denominator amongst immigrants is the reality of starting afresh, as settling down in a new territory comes with its challenges. In a bid to make the experiences of newcomers less challenging, some Nigerians are building platforms to equip newly arrived immigrants, especially from minority ethnic backgrounds, with the clarity and support they need to navigate their path. By harnessing the power of collaboration and community, they share their journey, socialize, partner, inspire, and support others, especially in areas of personal and career advancement. Here are some Nigerians who've created communities or organizations to support immigrants navigate life in various ways. Benga Ogunjimi founded the Nigerian Center, one of the first immigrant and cultural centers for the Nigerian diaspora in the United States. The organization offers financial inclusion and social justice opportunities for members of the African immigrant community. The organization also educates, empowers, uplifts, and assists immigrant families to adjust to life in the United States through policy advocacy, cultural legal aid services, entrepreneurship, and home ownership opportunities. The center also provides a platform for members of the African diaspora to learn about their Nigerian heritage while connecting them to the current Nigerian-American culture in the U.S.
Oftentimes, when you think of returning citizens, there are challenges that come to mind. This program is changing the narrative, and we see the opportunity of leaders in the community taking authority over their own story, their brand identity, and creating a path for themselves in entrepreneurship and contributing to the sustainability of the DC local economy.
Adebayo Ogunleye was acknowledged as one of the top most inspiring immigrants in Atlantic Canada for the year 2024, an award which celebrates his impactful contributions towards assisting other immigrants across Canada. He is dedicated to supporting newcomers, mentoring international students, and promoting talent, while fostering meaningful integration within local communities. He is the immediate past president of the Nigerian-Canadian Association of New Brunswick, a non-profit association that promotes cultural awareness and supports families by uniting all Nigerians in New Brunswick, Canada. These and many more Nigerians in the diaspora believe in the potential of Nigerians to reach extraordinary heights, and so are relentlessly contributing their quota to provide the tools, encouragement, and connections that propel them forward.
As always, we've been following the activities of the Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission as they continue to engage citizens living abroad through various programs.
Chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, receives the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle at a welcome banquet held in their honor by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, in Abuja. The NITCOM boss commends the couple for their innumerable philanthropic works to society, especially the injured, sick, traumatized soldiers, and even war veterans. Mrs. Dabiri Erewa, who learns that Meghan Markle is 43% Nigerian after having a genealogy done in 2022, commends the Duchess for being an embodiment of the Nigerian woman.
Princess, the Nigerian woman has much more swag. The Nigerian woman is elegant, beautiful, intelligent, hardworking, diligent, courageous, and respectful in the face of anything. Shout out to all the Nigerian women in the hall. And guess what? Prince Harry, you married the very best. For marrying our sister, our daughter, our friend. And Princess Meghan, you married the most handsome man in the world. So we welcome you home today. It's your first visit, but hopefully not your last visit. And we hope you come back home again and again and again.
Telecom boss also took the opportunity to extend to the Duchess an invitation to the annual Badagry Door of Return Festival in Lagos.
Now let's turn our focus to our guest for today, Yejide Adak, a true advocate for community support and collaboration. Born from her experience as an international student in the United Kingdom, she founded Bloom L to create a vibrant community that offers support to other women with a similar experience in the UK.
Being a woman to me is embracing my unique identity that is deeply rooted in my journey of self-discovery.
Yejide Adak is a data governance consultant and digital entrepreneur. With a legal background spanning over a decade, she combines her expertise in both fields to provide strategic advice and guidance to companies across diverse industries within the UK. Yejide obtained a Bachelor of Laws degree at the Obafemi Awolowo University in Osun State, southwest Nigeria. After attending the Nigerian Law School, she worked in one of the topmost law firms in Nigeria before pursuing her master's at the University of Warwick, UK. She then worked with a top asset management company before transitioning to an in-house counsel role. Subsequently, she pursued her master's at Sheffield Hallam University, graduating with an MBA degree.
Degree of Master of Business Administration. Yejide Adak.
She currently serves as a board member of an education board. Her journey from Nigeria to the United Kingdom provides her with a first-hand perspective on the immigrant experience. Committed to making a difference in her community, Yejide founded Bloom L, a beacon of support for women from Black and diverse cultural backgrounds that is committed to helping women thrive in every aspect of life. Bloom L currently has almost 1,000 women in over 100 cities within the UK. Beyond her professional achievements, Yejide is passionate about sharing knowledge and insights. Through articles, videos, and other content, she educates and empowers individuals using her social media platforms.
Being a woman to me is embracing my unique identity that is deeply rooted in my journey of self-discovery. It is embracing my strengths and vulnerabilities, being unapologetic about who I am, wearing my crown with grace. It is building other people around me, giving myself the grace and permission to become whatever I want to be. It also means supporting and advocating for fellow women and girls on various fronts.
This creative outlet allows her to share insights, stories, and advice, inspiring and connecting with a diverse audience.
When we return in just a moment, Yejide Adak speaks to us about the importance of collaboration and community away from home and how her organisation, Bloom L, is making a difference. Please stay with us. Joining us on Diaspora Network is Yejide Adak, data governance consultant and founder of the Bloom L community. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really lovely to be here to share my story.
Moving to a new country that's completely different from home in terms of culture and traditions can be quite challenging. What was your experience like, and how did you and your family manage to make that move smoothly?
So I don't think the word smooth is, the right word to use because it was quite challenging. So when I initially moved here, I moved with two toddlers. My kids were aged 2 and 3, and I moved alone, and it was quite challenging. So you can imagine coming into a city, you don't have a support system. It was really hard. So back at home, I had my own circle of close friends, extended family members that I could always reach to, talk to about childcare if I needed to balance all my responsibilities. But moving here was totally different. I struggled. So I initially moved and stayed with a friend for a couple of months before I could secure my accommodation. And I struggled first and foremost, in terms of being able to make meaningful connections, make new friends. And there's also the cultural adjustment bit. It's different when you come here on holiday, and I have traveled here a couple of times for holiday. But when I moved in here fully, with my family, it was a different reality for me. And boy, oh God, I struggled. I felt isolated. I felt vulnerable at a point, because I'd had to do like different type of jobs, trying to work within, because I moved here as an international student. So work within the confines of 20 hours was really challenging for me. And I felt like I lost my identity. So it took a bit of trying to find myself again, getting the kind of job that would suit my circumstances for me to be able to eventually find myself. So I won't say it was smooth. Yeah.
And I know you mentioned jobs, which I think, is another difficult aspect of the JAPA trend, that daunting career shift. I mean, you studied law and you've worked across diverse sectors. How would you say the move to the UK has impacted your career path?
So as I mentioned earlier, I moved as an international student. And before then, I've worked as a lawyer back home in Nigeria with over a decade of experience in corporate and commercial transactions. So when I moved here, having to juggle childcare, number one, as well as having to work within the confines of 20 hours was really hard. You don't find recruiters willing to get international students, even if they have the best experience working with those hours. So I would say one of the things that I did first and foremost was to prepare myself. So I prepared myself by literally having that positive outlook, saying to myself that it doesn't matter if, I keep getting those rejections. I'm just going to be putting in my application until I have someone say, yes to me. I started investing in myself. Upskilling is one thing I always talk about. So being a lawyer, I'd worked in a top couple of sectors, and I worked in the top most asset management company where I dabbled into personally identifiable information, working with data, did a bit of data privacy regulations. And so I knew that I wanted to get into that sector that is the tech industry without me having to be involved in coding roles. So I started doing the research, just looking out there, what are those kind of jobs, roles I can do that fit my skills.
And you've now founded the Blue Mel Foundation or organization to help support other women, not just from Nigeria, but other ethnic minority backgrounds to navigate life in the UK. Speak to us about how this came about and the reception so far.
So I started Blue Mel out of the shared struggle I shared earlier, coming here with 2 kids, no support system, lack of access to information, and I struggled. And at a point, I was working in a very toxic environment, trying to, balance being a student, being a mom, and also as well to work. And I thought to myself, I didn't want any other woman to feel the way I felt, isolated, loss of identity, vulnerable. And that's where Blue Mel started from. So I created Blue Mel, like you said. Blue Mel is that beacon of hope. It's an inclusive haven for women from different countries. So I'm always quick to say that we have women from Nigeria, from Ghana, Afro-Caribbean heritage, majorly Black heritage in Blue Mel. And we provide resources, we provide access to information, where that wellspring of, support system, because we want every woman to feel like, there is that someone, there's that body in your community that understands your journey. So as you're navigating your path here in the UK, you have someone, just helping you. And when we initially started, it was from zero. And right now we have almost 1,000 members, like I said, in different countries. And they all live, interestingly, in diverse cities in the UK. So we have people in Wales, in Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, and it's really beautiful. It's just that bit about you have someone who totally understands what you're going through. Like, for instance, there was a change to the immigration policy here in the UK, and a lot of the women in the community were just talking about how they were worried about that, the impact of that on them. There was the mental health aspect of it. So we had an immigration lawyer just come share with the women in the community the implication of all of this, how that affects them. We've had people come talk about mental health, how to safeguard your mental health and all of that. Reception has been really amazing, really, really, really amazing.
And of course, apart from Blue Mail, you also create content online, advising others on adapting to the professional landscape in the UK. What advice would you give anyone who is in that new phase, not just in the UK, but in a new country generally?
I say that coming into a new country comes with its own set of challenges. So I'm always quick to tell people to be patient with themselves. When you move in, it's so easy to look at other people who are settled and you're comparing yourself to them. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself time. Apart from that, you need to prepare. Sometimes people come in here and they are not prepared, to be honest. When you come unprepared, you're going to struggle. So start thinking of what you want to do. One of the things I'm quick to add is, because I knew that I wanted to come here, I wanted to work in a global landscape. I wanted to start working in a managerial role. So I chose an MBA that's got work experience. So it took me, being able to work fully, to be able to understand the job landscape here and be able to prepare myself. I did a lot of research, like I mentioned. LinkedIn was my best friend, just being on there, looking at what other people are doing. So please research. Most importantly, I'm quick to say that the people that you associate yourself with, the first 2 months of you coming to the UK can actually make or mar you. It's not even only the UK, it's abroad. And because it determines your mindset. So if you have the people that are saying the right thing to you, you can thrive, you can do better. If you have people that are saying the wrong things to you, you probably will be there and, just struggling. And invest in yourself. It's okay to do a survival job. Like, a lot of people do that just to build themselves up and, pay their bills. But don't just leave yourself there, because in the next couple of years, you realize that, people are doing so many things and you're just stuck where you are in that position. So invest in yourself. It's really important to do that.
And, reflecting on your journey so far, you've come a long way from being an international student to where you are now. What would you consider your most significant achievements, and what motivated you, during those times to keep going?
So I would say one of my most significant achievements will be professionally. So like I'd mentioned, I've transitioned being a data governance consultant based on experiences, working with data and reading up on that, and also networking with people that are in the industry that I wanted to work in. So I started working after I graduated as a data governance consultant with a top tech firm. And I'd had the opportunity to create a data quality framework for this top global organization. There's something about dreaming about something and then, seeing it come into achievement. And it was for me the accolades I got, just being able to create that. It was the first ever. They'd never had that before. And it just made me really happy. And that's one thing about data governance, because you are trying to get people to see their data as a strategic asset. You're making sure that they have the right people who are doing the right things. They have the proper policies and the procedures, as well as technology to be able to manage the life cycle of their data. So it was just really amazing being able to do that. And I think another significant achievement will be when I became a board executive member of an education trust as an international student. And that's big for me, coming here as an international student, being able to achieve that dream of just being a board executive, and we're committed to ensuring that, kids within the city that I'm in and also neighboring cities are able to get quality education. And being able to achieve all of that, it fills me with so much. And there were challenges along the way, like I said, trying to find a job, when I became the board executive, for instance, I was writing my dissertation. So I used to like literally shuttle, being in the library and then juggling all of this responsibility. But it's the motivation that this is what I want, be able to be a part of a global organization, being able to make a difference in the community that I am in, that sort of pushes me on and just spurs me to be the best version of myself.
All right, then, Yejide Adak, it's been a pleasure speaking to you on the program. Thank you so much for joining us on Diaspora Network.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure just sharing my experiences and telling my story.
And that wraps up another inspiring episode of Diaspora Network. But remember, you can find more insightful stories of Nigerians making their mark on the global stage on our YouTube channel and website, channelstv.com. Until next time, I'm Tenyola Oyetayo. Bye for now.